This video demonstration is going to show you how to complete this week's activity where you'll be designing a recipe card showcasing your favorite recipe. You'll be using InDesign for the design and the layout. You will be creating 2 unique paragraph and character styles. You need to include at least 2 different fonts, text colors, and text sizes, all defined through those styles. This video demonstration will show you how to use the styles, how to set up your document, and talk about some basic principles and elements of design to think about when laying out your recipe card. This is what my final recipe card looks like. I picked out Toll House Cookie Pie. I have 2 basic images, one for the background and one for the actual cookie image, the Toll House Cookie Pie image that we'll be putting together. I used custom fonts. I downloaded the fonts from dafont.com. So if you need some different looking fonts, they're compatible for Windows and Mac. So dafont.com is a wonderful site where you can find a lot of different fonts that you can use. So let's get started. I'm going to do File, New, Document. Now, one of the things about this is that it's measured in points. So if I want to convert it, I can. I can do 7 IN, so IN for inches, and then 5 IN. And that will convert it to the points that's required, and also will give it the correct orientation. It doesn't matter which way you want your recipe card to go. Typically, recipe cards are landscape, but if you wanted to do something 5 by 7, you most certainly can. I'm going to set my margins at 0.25 IN. I do this for every single document. The 0.25 IN will allow room for any trimming issues that may have happened in printing. And I'm going to hit OK. And there's the start of my recipe card. Now I need to start building and putting my elements in. I used a background from Google Images, which is fine. Just make sure that you cite your resources, and also you can use other free stock images to complete this task. So there's a couple of different ways I can put my image in, and I'm going to show you those as we go along. I'm going to go ahead and drag out my graphics frame, and I'm going to make it the size I want. I'm going to do File, Place, Command D or Control D will do that for you. So shortcuts are an excellent thing to learn. I'm going to grab my background and I'm going to hit OK, or open, and hit OK. Now that I have this background in place, I can see that my image is bigger than my graphics frame. So if I click on it, this little circle pops up and I can see that it is bigger by this brown bounding box. I can also move it, which is nice. So a graphics frame actually works as sort of like a crop tool because it's hiding what I don't want seen. And I actually want a little bit more, so I'm going to hold Shift and I'm going to pull it down. And then I can move it depending on what I actually want. I think those dishes at the end are worthless in the design, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that there. So that gives me my background. I'm also going to put in that cookie image I have, so I'm going to do File, Place, because I want to show you another way that you can work with images. And I'm going to hit Cookie Pie. And then I get and this image is huge. So I'm going to grab my free transform tool. I'm going to hold Shift to keep it proportional. I'm going to hold it until I need that section, and then see if I don't hold Shift, it doesn't keep proportional. And then it looks like I want to crop out a little bit. I want to make more of a focus into my cookie pie here. So I'm going to use my graphics frame as a little bit of a crop. Put it into place. I may want to rotate it. And then just to add a little extra flair, I like to use the effects. I like drop shadows, where I can also modify what they look like here. It's normal, So there's different ways that you can use an effect. I also wanted a little feather and maybe an inner glow. So I just play with the effects to see what I like and what I don't like. So I'm going to hit OK. Now I need to start building my text. So I'm going to grab my type tool. I'm going to make my text frame. I'm going to type in Toll House Cookie Pie. With my selection tool, if I double click on the anchor point, it will fit the graphics frame to the text. So I'm going to leave that there for now. I'm also then going to pull in my Toll House Cookie Pie recipe. I have this already in a Word document. So I'm actually just going to import in the Word document. I'm going to do File, Place. I'm going to select my Toll House Cookie Pie. I want to make sure that this Show Import Options is selected. And I want to make sure that the Remove Styles and Formatting from Text and Tables is also removed because I'm going to be making my own custom settings. So I'm going to hit OK, and then I'm going to drop that. And obviously I made the heading already, so I'm going to delete that out. And I'm going to size this text frame for where I want it to fit, which is roughly about there. Now it's going to give me a loaded icon, loaded thread, where it says that some text is hidden. But one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to fix that. I'm going to right click on my text frame, and I'm going to do text frame options. And I'm going to change the columns to 2, and I'm going to leave the gutter there as well, and I'm going to hit OK. Now that helps a little bit, but there's still the loaded text icon. So we'll work through some of the formatting that may come with that. Another option, if I needed to have some more space, was I did have my background image. Oh, it looks like it's perfectly on there. I was going to say I could pull it down a little bit, but it doesn't look like it. So I may need to remove some of the prep cook time. I'm just mostly concerned about the ingredients. So that actually brings it okay. So if I wanted to keep something like that, maybe if I hold option 8, I can put little bullets. So then I could put this all on one line. So that's something to think about. So now we need to style this, and one of the things that we need to do is we need to open up our styles panel under window. So let's start with the character styles first. So I'm going to make a new style, and then maybe I want to call this, I always name them so I'm aware of what it is. I'm going to do style name recipe title. The basic character formats, that's where I can pick my font, I can pick the style, I can pick the size, so maybe I want this to be 18. I can pick how far the text is apart, kerning. I can also pick a color for it, so maybe I want some dark blue. If you double click on it, you can make your own color, you can mix your own color. So I'm going to hit OK. Now to apply this, I can just highlight it and then click on the style. This is bigger than my text frame, so I do need to resize out that text frame. And you see if I click, double click on that, it will make the text frame fit. This is actually kind of small, so I can just click on this again, come back, and again it's too small, so now it's getting more the size that I like it, more of the emphasis. Maybe it's a little too big. So I'm going to make just one little adjustment on it. I'm going to actually put in my own size because it's just too big. I don't want it so big, So I'm just going to do 26 and it will size that entire thing for me. So then for the paragraph styles, the same thing. I'm going to apply it. I'm going to make a new paragraph style. This one, I could make this maybe the ingredients. And you can also make this based on other paragraph styles. Not necessarily do you need to do that here. So I'm going to make this Avenir. I really like the sans serif fonts for this. I want it to be 12 point, and then I can also adjust the leading if I want. That's the space in between the lines. Some of the other things that I can do is I can indent them. So if I want to indent, I can definitely do that. It's actually applying it to that as well. So I need to make sure that I have the right things selected when I do this. And I can hit OK. Now, as you see, when I created this new paragraph style, it was actually applying it because I was in that text frame. If I go back to basic, it will put it back. So then I'm in this text frame and I want to do, I can highlight what I want to change here. And I can make this ingredients and see how it applies that. And then I can make those changes to make them fit based on the style. So there's no character styles. The ingredients, I want to make sure it's black, so I need to change the color on that. And also, I want to put some bullets on here, so I'm going to put them bullets like that and hit OK. So then I'll apply the bullets to this as well. I really think that maybe I want to move this, so I'm going to copy it, and I'm actually going to put it up here with a little spacing. So then that will pull my ingredients up, and I can push my directions there. That will free up a little bit of space as well. And then I could also create another character styles where I make, I'm going to make this headings. And I don't want it to be based on anything, so I'm just going to say none. If it's based on something, it will pick up some of the other settings. And then I want to make this maybe 12, hit OK. This actually picked up on my, and you can apply different, and then it doesn't like my option 8 to make those little bullets for some reason. So I'll need to add a different font there so that it picks that up. So obviously it's a font issue. If I use Avenir, it's fine. And then this, I'm going to add the headings. Same here. And this is how you use the paragraph and character styles to create your document. If I don't like this color, I can definitely change it up on the text as well. So I can change it back to black, which I prefer. Then you can also add bullets. You can change other settings. So I might just put optional here. So you see how I indented them. You can also double click on it. You can add, there's their character color, so I can also put that right in the paragraph styles as well. I can do nested styles, hyphenation, paragraph rules, tabs. So there's a lot of different settings within the paragraph styles that you can use. So when you're all set, make sure you save it. I also suggest saving as a PDF, so you can just do file export. What's nice about the PDF is that it will keep it in a universal document, and it will display how you expect. So in the export window, just make sure that it sets to Adobe PDF Print. You can also do the interactive, but that will come later as you're adding in URLs, slideshows, videos, things like that. But make sure you have the Adobe PDF Print. Hit save. I always keep the same settings that they have. They always work out really well. So I'll hit export, and that will save out your InDesign document as a PDF. I also always save the InDesign file, and I always seem to spell a recipe wrong. Hit OK. And one thing, after I have completed my design, I'm happy with it, the client signed off on it, I always package. So I'm going to hit package, I leave the file name, continue, and what it does is it creates a folder out on my desktop that holds all of my documents and elements that have been used in that InDesign file. So it pulls together, it actually creates a PDF of it that you can see. So that's really nice that when you package it, it creates a PDF. It also includes any links. So the links are typically any images. And any fonts, it pulls the fonts and puts them in a file, so that when anybody opens up the InDesign file, they're able to properly see it because it includes the images and the fonts as well. So I always, at the end of any project, make sure that I do package out my document so that I have all of my design elements together and finish. That's how I finish out the particular project. Thank you for viewing the video demonstration on how to complete the week 2 recipe design activity. If you have any questions, please feel free to let your instructor know.